Thank you for calling McDonald's. This is Bernicia. How can I help you today?
Hello, how are you?
I'm finding you.
I'm okay. Uh, here's why I'm calling today. I was making breakfast this morning, and I thought, you know what? I would like to have an egg McMuffin for breakfast, which I used to do every morning. I would go to work and I would get an egg McMuffin on my way to work. But I no longer work, and so I wanted one at home. And I had some English muffins and eggs, and I tried to make one myself, and I couldn't do it. It just tasted like an egg sandwich. So I guess I'm calling for information on how to make my own egg McMuffins at home.
Alrighty, and so if you don't mind, I'm going to place you on a brief hold and locate some information for you, okay?
Okay, well, am I speaking to the right department?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, well, I guess, yeah, if you have to put me on hold then, I'll wait.
Alrighty.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for holding, sir. I did go ahead and locate some information for you. Unfortunately, I can't provide you with that information. However, I can tell you the components that the egg McMuffin is made of.
What information can't you tell me?
As I said, I can tell you the components and I can give you the ingredients in the sandwich itself.
Well, I have the ingredients. It's just egg and McMuffin, but I don't know how to make it taste like the ones in the restaurant.
Well, I can always advise you to just visit one of your local restaurants and purchase the egg McMuffin from there.
Well, I would do that, but I'm disabled and I can't go to the restaurant anymore. That's why I want to make them at home.
Yeah, I do apologize, sir. I don't have that information to provide you with.
Well, you said you have the information, that you just can't tell it to me.
No, I don't have the information to provide you with. I'm sure that someone knows how to make the egg McMuffin, but I don't have the information.
Who there knows how to make the egg McMuffins?
You can inquire with your local restaurant.
Well, I can't go there because again, I'm disabled.
I can provide you with the telephone number and you can call them.
And they'll tell me how to make egg McMuffins at my house?
Well, I'm not quite sure if they'll tell you, but you can inquire and see if they will.
Well, why wouldn't they tell me?
I mean, it's a McDonald's trademark, sir. I'm not quite sure.
Well, I'm not selling the egg McMuffins. These are for personal use. I'm not going... I can sign a document that says that I have no intention of taking the trademark and using it to sell my own brand of Clarence sandwiches. I wouldn't do something like that. I just want to enjoy egg McMuffins that I've prepared for myself at home, you see.
Alrighty, well, if you'd like, I can go ahead and locate your local restaurant and you can inquire with them and maybe they'll be able to provide you with that information.
Well, what information do you have for me?
As I said, I can tell you the components that are inside of the egg McMuffin sandwich, and that's the classic English muffin, the egg, Canadian-style bacon, cheese, and salted butter.
Okay, what kind of cheese?
Pasteurized processed American cheese.
Pasteurized processed American cheese. Now, do you know what the process is? Or is that just a generic type of processed cheese?
No, sir, I don't know the exact process. I can tell you the ingredients in that cheese, which is milk, cream, water, cheese culture, sodium citrate, contains 2% or less of salt, citrate, acid, sodium, phosphate, sorbic acid.
Now, if you're suggesting I make the cheese myself, where do I get... Is it a specific kind of acid in the cheese?
It just says citric acid.
Oh, citric acid. So that's probably from, lemons. Okay, so, well, if that's just the cheese, then you said. And if
I
that's,
can provide you with the ingredients of everything else.
well, let's start with the cheese, because I have a feeling that that's probably the most important part. So if I was going to make the cheese myself, I would need milk. And then what was the next one?
Cream,
Okay, cream, got that.
water,
Water, sure.
cheese culture.
Oh, does that go by a different name?
No, sir. I only have cheese culture in my system.
Okay, well, I'll write that down, and then I'll go back to that later. What else would I need?
Sodium citrate.
I don't know what that is.
Said you don't know what that is?
Yes. What's sodium? Sodium nitrate, you said?
Sodium citrate.
Sodium citrate. Is that? Do they sell that on Peapod? Do you know?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay. Well, I'll check with them. I'll write that one down. And what else do I need here for the cheese?
One second, sir.
Well, what was the one after the sodium citrate, you said?
And that's the salt, and then it's citric acid.
Salt and citric acid. Well, I certainly know salt. That one shouldn't be too hard, I don't think. And that about does it for the cheese then, huh?
No, it actually has citric acid. It also contains sodium phosphate, sorbic acid, which is a preservative, a lactic acid, acetic acid, enzymes, sodium phosphorate, natural flavor, which is a dairy source, and then there's color added in soy lecithin, which is for slice
Okay, well,
which is added for slice separation.
We're going to have to come back to the cheese. What were the other main ingredients?
Well, it contains the English muffin, the egg, Canadian style bacon.
The English muffin, I can just get Thomas's brand English muffins. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the English muffin is probably not the key to making a proper egg McMuffin. We'll just go with Thomas's on that. And we're coming back to the cheese. And what was the next one on the list there?
And that'll be that Canadian style bacon.
Okay. And is that a special type of Canadian style bacon?
No, it's just Canadian style bacon.
Okay. Now,
or cured with water, sugar, salt, and sodium lactate, sodium phosphate, natural flavor, and sodium diatate, and sodium nitrate.
Is that more of the cheese ingredients? Are some of these the same ones that are in the cheese?
Some of them are the same, yes.
Oh, well, perfect. Then I can buy those items in bulk for both the Canadian style bacon and the cheese. That way I save a bit of time while purchasing all of my sodium phosphates and citrates, you said, sodium citrate. Now, do you know where do you buy these things?
I'm not quite sure, sir.
Well, where does
and I do
McDonald's,
apologize for
where
that.
does McDonald's get them?
Where do we get the ingredients?
Right. Again, I'm not going to go into business selling my own sandwiches. I'd like to make
Unfortunately, sir, I can't provide you with that information. I do apologize.
Well, is it an American company?
Is it an American company?
Yes.
The ingredients that we get for the Egg McMuffin?
Right, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, which company is it?
As I said, sir, unfortunately, I can't provide you with that information.
Okay. Well, what were the other ingredients then?
And the last ingredient is salted butter.
Salted butter. Okay. Well, is there a sauce?
Is there a sauce?
Is there some kind of sauce that goes in there?
No, sir. I just see that the last ingredient is salted butter.
Well, what goes into... is it a special type of egg?
It's made with a round egg.
Well, how did they get the egg so round? Because I don't think
well, in the restaurant, there are little round rings that they place the egg inside of while it's cooking, and that's how they get it to that round shape.
Now, if I wanted to order one of those, where would I get one of those?
I'm not quite sure, sir. Maybe Amazon.
Can I place an order with you to have McDonald's send me one of these rings?
Unfortunately, no, sir. I do apologize.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure it's even the circular shape of the egg that creates, I guess, that taste I'm looking for. And if it's not, if it's not salted butter or the English muffin itself or the bacon, it has to be that cheese, which I thought in the first place. So I guess the key ingredient is probably somewhere in that list of sodium elements. What were they again? In between after the sodium citrate and before the preservative.
Mm-hmm.
Which one was that?
You said which one had the preservative in it?
No, on the list. In between the sodium citrate and the phosphate.
The citric acid?
Well, now those I can just, if I'm making the cheese, if I buy lemons, that's, lemon juice is the acid. So I mix that with the water and the milk and these cheese cultures. And then it's just a matter of finding those sodium citrates, which you don't know where I would get those, right?
No, I'm not quite sure, sir, and I do apologize. So I'd like to go ahead and document that you were inquiring about how our Egg McMuffin sandwich is prepared, and I'd like to send that over to our menu management team just so that they know that the sandwich is that popular, their customers would like to make it at home. And before I send everything forward, I'd also like to go ahead and get some contact information from you as well. And so if you could start with your first and last name, sir, that'd be great.
My name is Clarence.
Said your first name is Clarence.
Uh-huh.
And your last name?
Elmore. E-L-M-O-R-E.
And your mailing address?
Are you going to send me information on how to make the sandwiches?
Well, sir, it's just as a record of our call today.
Oh, well, I'd rather not give out my address unless I was receiving information on how to make the sandwiches.
Alrighty, and that's perfectly okay. I do still appreciate you calling today. And how about a telephone number for you?
Well, if you're going to contact me in the future, I would prefer it would be for information on how to make the sandwich. I mean, we still really haven't gotten that information yet. I mostly have just been confused by a list of cheese ingredients. You said the local restaurant will give me information on
I'm not quite sure if they will or if they won't. That's why I said if you'd like, I can look up your local restaurant for you and provide you with their telephone number.
Okay, well, my zip code is 78722. If you could find one near there, I guess I could call them.
And I do apologize, sir. You said that zip code was what again?
It's 78722.
And what street is that restaurant located on?
Oh, I'm not sure. There's a couple in the area. I haven't been there in a while. I'm disabled now.
Well, would you like me to just provide you with the telephone number for the restaurant nearest to you?
Is there any way you could transfer me?
Transfer you to that restaurant?
Sure.
Unfortunately, no, sir. I do apologize.
Oh. And there's no one there that'll tell me how to make the sandwiches?
Unfortunately, as I said, we don't have that information to provide you with.
Well, if I call the restaurant, do you think they'll tell me or no?
I'm not quite sure, sir. I can't speak for the restaurant. I do apologize.
So there's a chance they will or no? I mean, if using your best judgment as an employee of McDonald's.
I mean, it's not about how I feel. It's more about how you feel about the situation. And that's why I said if you'd like that number, I can provide you with it. Unfortunately, as far as whether or not they'll provide you with the information, I'm not quite sure. And I don't want to give you an answer based off of my judgment and it be incorrect and you be upset or anything like that. And so,
I'm not going to be upset. I just, I've spent a lot of time today and yesterday, too, trying to make these sandwiches. I mean, it's already pretty late in the day now. I've been up since 4:45 in the morning, trying to make...
And I definitely do understand, and I do apologize, sir. But as I said, it's more about how you feel about the situation, not I.
Well, how I feel is I'd prefer to just eat the sandwiches at home and be able to make them. Now, if I order one of these rings, I would prefer to get the ring from McDonald's themselves. That way, I can be sure it's the same kind of ring they're using in the restaurant. If I were to go, to an outside source, I don't know if I'm getting the right shape, and something's setting off the taste of the muffin sandwiches I make at home versus the ones that I do remember from the store. I mean, I guess maybe it has been a long time since I've been to an actual McDonald's to eat one of the sandwiches in person. I mean, I guess I suppose it could be that I'm just remembering them differently than what the sandwiches I'm making at home taste like. Is there any way to have the food delivered to my house?
Unfortunately, no, sir. I do apologize.
I probably should have started with that rather than trying to make them myself. On second thought, there's no any kind of supplementary delivery service that you know of?
No, sir.
Well, let me ask you this. Is there any menu item that you can tell me how to make myself?
No, sir, and I do apologize for that as well.
Now, do you know what the reason for that is?
Well, being that McDonald's has a trademark on all of those products, unfortunately, we can't provide you with that information simply because we don't have the information, and as well as it is McDonald's information to keep to themselves.
Well, I understand the trademark for, business purposes. That makes sense, obviously. But, I mean, you have a lot of customers that are senior citizens. I mean, myself personally, I've been a customer for probably 75 years prior. And, I'm not going to, again, steal any of the information to make my own sandwich making operation here. It's talking about at most maybe 3 or 4 egg McMuffins to myself per day, and that's on an extreme end. I doubt I'll even be preparing that many sandwiches. Perhaps, here or there, maybe I'll have a friend come over and they would have one, but I don't understand how it affects, with all due respect, your company's business to such a degree that I can't just have the information on how to prepare the sandwiches myself.
And I definitely do understand, sir, and I do apologize for the inconvenience. Now, I do have all that information documented, and as I said, I'll get it sent over to our menu management team so that they know how that our customers are inquiring about how to make that product at home. And
what is the menu management team? What do they do?
Well, they're the managers of our menu department, meaning our menu products.
So they would have the information on how to make the sandwiches.
Well, I'm not quite sure about that, sir. I wouldn't know.
Can I speak to someone in that department?
Unfortunately, as you said, sir, I can't transfer you over to any different department. I do apologize.
That's a phone. The phones don't work that way,
or?
The phones don't allow you to transfer me to another department, or?
Well, all of the departments are not located in the same area, so I wouldn't be able to transfer you to a department that's not located with me.
Oh, well, where is the menu management department? Do you have a phone number for them, or?
Unfortunately, no, sir.
So when you contact them, how do you go about contacting them?
We send everything over electronically.
Through a fax?
Something like an email.
Oh, like an email. Oh, do you have an email address for them?
No, sir.
Well, how would you send the information over?
Well, I document the information and it gets sent over electronically, like I said. It sends on its own.
But through an email?
My software is set up for the information to send on its own.
Oh, so they don't have any contact information?
No, sir. I do apologize.
Is there another number I could call where I could get that number from another department, and then I could perhaps speak to somebody over there who could...
Unfortunately, no, sir, and I do apologize.
So there's no other department I could speak to in regards to finding out how to make these sandwiches myself?
Unfortunately, no, sir. Everyone that is located in my area, we all have access to the same information. And as I said, I don't have that information to provide you with, and I do apologize.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll go the local restaurant route then.
Alrighty, and would you like for me to provide you with that telephone number for the restaurant nearest to you?
Yes, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Alrighty, and this is for the restaurant on Half Airport Boulevard. And that telephone number is 512-926-1234.
926-1234. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, and have a nice day.
And you're absolutely welcome, sir. And before you go, I'd like to confirm that I have all your contact information correct. And so I have your first name as Clarence, last name Elmore. Is everything